Good day and welcome. Today we have the privilege of spending the next 30 to 40 minutes with an amazing public speaker, author, trainer and coach, an inner game guru, maestro, somebody who's changing lives here in South Africa. For the next 30 or 40 minutes, you have the pleasure of hearing so much of wisdom from Stephen van Basten, the inner game coach, and he'll be talking about anything's possible, how you can kickstart your life with 2020 vision. Take it away, Mr. Stephen van Basten.
Woohoo! Vinesh, thank you very much, man. Thank you so much. Welcome, everyone, and thank you for being here. Yes, Vinesh is quite right. In the next 30 or so minutes, I'm just going to be sharing some thoughts around inner game mastery and how you can take control of your life and indeed create a better life and a better future for yourselves. So, I'd really love to start off just by telling you a little bit about myself. I wake up every morning and I wonder about the meaning of life. I wonder what this is all about. I wonder why we are on planet Earth. I wonder how I can eke out a better life for my family and my friends and my colleagues and the people that are important to me. I wonder how I can understand natural law and God's law and the laws of the universe to bring about something more beautiful in my own life and those around me. I love the story of the Starfish Foundation. There was a lady, allegedly, apparently, who was throwing starfish back into the sea once they had been washed up onto the beach, thousands of them. And she was throwing them in one at a time, and her friend came out and said, "What are you doing?" And she said, "I'm saving the starfish, man." And her friend said, "Well, you can't make a difference." And she picked up one starfish, threw it into the sea, and said, "It sure made a difference to that one." And that's really what Vinesh and I are about. We have a high value of helping people, lending a hand down to pull people up and assist them. We know that in our lives we have got great value out of coaching. We have a fundamental belief that that if we would change anything in our lives, it would be to get good coaching sooner. And now I'm 55 years old. I started about 10 years ago, probably 7 doing the more serious coaching. I have an NLP coach, Gail, who's just phenomenal. I've been going to her for 3 years, twice a month for 90 minutes. And the effect that that has had on my life is just simply amazing. So when I look back on my life, at the important people, the gurus, the mentors, I realized that, it's the mentors in my life, the people who reached down to pull me up to their level and help me along, that made all of the difference. And interestingly enough, very often, those mentors, those coaches are the ones that don't just tell you how wonderful you are. A good coach will encourage you on the one hand and also push you and challenge you on the other side. So, I'm going to be moving along some of those ideas today. Just to let you know, I've spent hours and hours with some of the greatest minds on earth who I deem to be great minds. The ones that have passed, I've read up on their works, and it gives me no greater pleasure than to research and then test and tweak, and bring other people the best of what I have learned. So I'm going to share my screen with you in a second, and I am going to just share a couple of thoughts from this end. Let me get that going over there. And so really what we're about here is about self-mastery, people mastery, to a degree, if those of you on business, corporate mastery, but indeed just finding fulfillment in today's concrete jungle. A lot of people say the meaning of life is to find happiness. You're happy and sad. You're ecstatic and depressed. There are times when you're happy and there are times when you aren't, and that's the reality of it. And yes, there do seem to be some people who can, find more happiness than non-happiness, and that's really what we're about. But I don't believe happiness is the outcome as much as fulfillment. I think that finding a sense of fulfillment is what we're all about. I have a fundamental belief that the meaning of life is around growth. People say death and taxes are the two sure things in life. I add growth to that. You cannot inhabit as a soul a beautiful human body and go through 60 or 70 years on planet Earth without growing. It is impossible. The meaning of life is not to find this nirvana where nothing ever goes wrong, but to be challenged, to have your soul challenged as you move up Maslow's hierarchy to self-actualization, which I recently found out for myself, reframed that as self-validation. You know, that self-validation where you know that you're okay, that no matter what the noise is around you, you have a vision, you have a mission, you have a passion, and you have an honor that you're honoring this physical body on planet Earth at this strange time. So here we go. You know, how do we kickstart our lives with 2020 vision? And really part of this starts with self-esteem. Those of you who know T. Harv Eker, a famous speaker, well-known guy, seems to have made a success of his life. He has a couple of ideas, but one of them is that, you know, you can never earn more than your self-esteem, than your self-belief, your self-confidence. You can never earn more than your self-image. And while we speak in earning, you know, we can translate this into manifesting in our lives. You know, to the degree that you believe you are worthy, to that same degree, you will manifest a fulfilling life. So this isn't just about money, but let's face it, you know, money does help. I don't have any issues around building beautiful amounts of wealth, because I know that wealth makes you free, and it frees you from governmental tyranny. To be honest, it frees you to do what you want with your life, and it frees you to do a lot more good. So right now, you know, I don't know where you are on the self-esteem level over here, but could you visualize yourself right now just pushing it a little bit more to the right? And on your self-evaluation side, just go, I am fantastic, I'm amazing, I'm beautiful. You know what, ladies and gents, you don't need to change anything. You're perfect as you are. Many of us believe in something. You know, personally, I'm more agnostic. I believe in God, but I don't try to define God. Don't try to give God human traits. I know that one day when I die, I will find out what's next. So I'm a believer in something that created me, but I also believe that something created me perfectly, and there's nothing to change. I love myself the way I am. So just a thought, and it's a slightly annoying thought, and I apologize up front, but I'm not really sorry, because I want to give you this. You know, if you begrudge your gender, or if you begrudge your skin color, or if you begrudge your age, or if you begrudge the family you were born into, or you begrudge the country you were born into, I think you're failing. You know, I think what we need to do is accept that we are beautiful souls that chose a beautiful family, a beautiful physical body, a beautiful life to go through. And when you take that look at it, because, you know, so many kids or people go, oh, I didn't choose to be born. Well, I think you're wrong. I think you did choose to be born. You chose your parents, you chose your siblings, you chose your life, you chose your skin color, you chose your gender, because that would bring you the most soul unfoldment and personal growth in one beautiful short lifetime. So, you know, when we take that attitude, we are now masters of our destiny. Man, I chose this. Why would I do this? We can have totally different meditations and contemplations when we take mastery of that fact, as opposed to, I'm a victim. You know, I was just here because mom and dad had sex. They were probably drunk and smoking and high, and yeah, I popped out and I had nothing to do with it. Take personal responsibility. Get on with it, man. It's a beautiful gift. There are millions and millions and millions of souls in the spirit world, in my opinion, just begging for a life, begging for a human body to have a human experience in. So the first thing I'm always grateful for is my beautiful body, my beautiful skin color, my beautiful gender, my beautiful family, and my beautiful country that I was born into. So listen, here's the meme of memes. I love this. I love this. So why are you so optimistic about 2020 or 2021? What do you think it'll bring? Everything seems so messed up, right? I think it'll bring flowers. How come? Because I'm planting flowers. Ladies and gents, I ask you, what are you planting? What are you seeding? What are you creating? What are you telling your beautiful brain? What is that internal dialogue that you're having with yourself? What does that inner voice say to you? Is it critical of you, or is it empowering? Is it disempowering, or is it building you up? And you know, sometimes we need to say to ourselves, get thee behind me, little voice. I am amazing. I am fantastic. And I'm doing the best I can with the resources that I do have. So I'm going to ask you right now, what are you planting? What are you seeding? Because, you know, even in these strange times, you know, I record this during COVID-19 lockdown from sunny South Africa. It's a beautiful wintry day here, autumny day. You know, it's a beautiful country we live in. We're in lockdown, and you know, we're recording this during a strange time. But let me tell you something. Even in the most dastardly times, and these aren't dastardly, but even in the most dastardly of times, the very least we can do is sit down in contemplation, in meditation, and visualize what we would love. What would you love? There's a time to sow and there's a time to reap. You do not sow and reap in the same season. The beautiful universe has told us all to go to our bedrooms and think about what we've done. And I'm doing exactly that. I'm contemplating, right? What is it I want? You know, we had big plans. Vinesh and I had huge plans for 2020. They're dashed. They're gone. They're a thing of the past, but we've accepted that. We're not moaning about conspiracy theories and government and smoking and drinking and why we can't buy cigarettes and blah, blah, blah. We're going, what do we want to create? Let us take this time to work on our businesses, work on our lives, work on our relationships. What is it you're planting? What is it you're creating? What is it you're seeding? So I'm going to ask you right now. I hope you've got a pen and paper ready. I would love you, and I'm not going to give you enough time during this exercise to do it, but I'm going to ask you just to write down 10 years from now, what is your dream home? What is your dream car? What is your dream family? What is your dream business? What are your dream bucket list items? What are your dream travel destinations? What do you want? And start writing them down. Here's $1 million idea. Write down in specific detail every day. My dream home, triple story, glass, swimming pool on the bottom, garage on the lower level. Okay, what does it look like? Okay, and then your dream car. All right, mine's an Audi R7 matte gray. Oh man, I've heard of, I've revved that engine. I've been in there. I relive it every day. I write that out. Okay, your dream family. What is it you actually want for your family? Won't you write that out every day? Bucket list items. Where do you want to travel? And then for those of you who are into it, and I'm sure other speakers will address this, is a new form of dream board. Just go to Google Images. Let's go. What is my dream car? All right, Audi R7. Find it. Okay, get a picture of it. Put an affirmation under that. I give myself permission to drive this car. All right. And then look at that every day. Say that affirmation every day. Put it up on the back of the toilet door so that you see it. Put it, you know, it's all old fashioned stuff. We've known this stuff for years. But how many of us are actually planting these ideas, seeding these ideas every single day? So, what's possible, ladies and gents? You know, I don't know if any of you are into health. If any of you know Wim Hof, this is his son meditating in the snow. This is Wim Hof. Listen, this is halfway up Everest. He ran a half marathon essentially naked, right? He had a pair of shorts on. This guy should be dead. Okay, what's possible? These guys went out in a blizzard, and listen, I will give you that they smiled for that photograph, but you have to give me that they went out in a blizzard half naked and they're alive. All right. We've been lied to about the cold, my friends. We've been lied to about so many things. You all know this because I know the people on these webinars, on these talks, are more spiritual than religious, more philosophical, reaching out for the next level. I know you know that we have been lied to. If you don't believe me, your parents lied to you. They told you about Father Christmas and the Tooth Fairy. Lies, okay? I lied to my daughter. Okay, I lied to my daughter. I told her I loved school. I couldn't wait to go to school. Man, I was almost a dropout. I got C, and D in matric. I was useless, but I lied to her. I said I loved school. I loved exams. I loved it. She's an A student because of those lies. All right, so we've been lied to, and some of the lies are good, some of them are bad. Check out this guy. All right, listen, those of you who know hypothermia, 10 minutes, death, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Wim Hof in there, 1 hour and 50 minutes, almost 2 hours in the ice. And that's right on his skin. I'm going to ask you, ladies and gents, what's possible? So this is my partner, my business partner, Vinesh, and I, just testing the boundaries of what's possible. That's proper ice, ladies and gents. That was 3 degrees, and we were in there for 2.5 minutes. All right, those of you who know my home, that's my gate. That was right on our front lawn. And I will give you one thing. That's me smiling on the left with a bald head, right? Okay, that was just for that second. I smiled for the photo. That is horrible. I've done it 3 times. It's the worst 6 minutes of my life, 7 minutes of my life, and I can't wait to do it again because we're harnessing the power of the brain. How many of you have done a firewalk? I've done 3 firewalks. You know why? Because what's possible? If you can conquer fire, if you can conquer ice, what can you not conquer? What's possible, ladies and gents? You know, if we start to focus our beautiful brains on what's really important, we'll start to find that we start to manifest different outcomes. Have a look here. What's possible? These guys can hold their breath for 22 minutes. Plank. Anyone know the planking world record? Like, look, I can plank for 2 minutes. 2 minutes and I'm shaking like a leaf. 4 hours. This is the mind and the body working together on a common goal. I think this has been broken by 8 hours, but irrespective, anything over 5 minutes is amazing. Ladies, moms, how many of you out there are moms? I know normally I'd have some interaction here and we'd get some people into the chat box giving us some answers. But if you're a mom, you know very well if your kid got stuck under a car, you would find the power to pick that up, because the power of the brain. So here we go. The most creative tool on earth is the human brain. And here's my Oprah Winfrey moment. All right. You don't have to look under your chair. You've got one. 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 You there. I'm looking you in the eye. You have a beautiful brain. Here's the thought. Those of you who have done John Kehoe and Robin Banks's Mind Power, there's a beautiful concept that came out of that. If you haven't done it, please, will you? It's about 10 grand. I suggest you do it. It's unbelievably powerful. 10 South African grand, by the way, for those of you in the US, etc., etc. There's a beautiful concept. The brain or the mind is a wonderful servant, but a terrible master. John DeMartini says the same thing in a different way. There's a law called Parkinson's law. If you do not fill your day with high value items, activities, it will automatically fill up with low value items. You need to tell your brain. You know, we've got a meme that says my brain is a beautiful servant. My brain is like a child. It loves to be told what to do and given boundaries. All right. So Vinesh and I and the people we work with, every day for about an hour, we choose specifically what we want to allow in. So listen, those of you who are more religious, it's in the good book. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is it with that man. It all begins and ends in your mind. What you give to power to has power over you. Think and Grow Rich. We all know the theory, but my good friends, I'm asking you, how many of us are putting it into practice in the real world? So here's a picture of a huge computer. I like the analogy, the brain is a huge computer. This is a picture of the female brain. Okay, we couldn't find a picture small enough for the male brain, but listen, just imagine it's that little server in the bottom left-hand corner there. Oh man, if you thought that was funny, have a smile and go, oh, who's this dude from South Africa coming here with this strange attitude? Right, so your brain is a big computer and it's recorded every single thing you've ever experienced. Every movie you've seen is in there. Every song you've heard is in there. And the amalgamation of all of your experiences creates a frequency. You are a frequency. Ladies and gents, you're a frequency. Okay, you're a vibration. And you are creating according to your vibration. It's as simple as that. So here's the $1 million question. How do I tweak my vibration to create a better or new or more enhanced reality? How do I tweak my vibration? How do I change my frequency? Because it starts always on the inside. The inner game creates the outer game, which confirms the inner game, which creates the outer game, which confirms the inner game, reinforces and creates. And there's this beautiful cycle. It's a delicious cycle, not a vicious cycle, delicious cycle as you move into this concept. So listen, what are we all about? You know, if you did nothing, because earlier on I said you're magnificent, you don't need to change anything, and you don't. So you might be going, so why do you want to change? You don't have to change. You can stay exactly as you are. Nature and karma and the lords of karma and the laws of the universe will take you on a beautiful path. Some of us are trying to do is to speed up the process. That's it. So we will all eventually, over the centuries, come back to God. Look, I believe in a reincarnation model. I think that makes most sense to me right now. I think we'll come back over and over and over again until we've learned the lessons. All we want to do is maybe shave off 3 lifetimes before we back amalgamated with whatever God is to you. So here we are. How do you change your frequency? So listen, we have a reticular activation system. We're told that there are billions of pieces of data coming into your brain at any one time. And actually what's happening is your brain is filtering it out and only allowing the important stuff in. What we need to do is start to take control of that and go, beautiful brain, this is what's important to me. This is what I want. This is what I want to create. This is what I want to manifest. Now, there's good news. There's great news. All right, you can reprogram your brain. You can exercise your brain. Any of you who are NLP practitioners out there, you know neuro-linguistic programming. Neuro being the brain, linguistic being words, and programming. So what you can do is reprogram or reframe the past, reframe the belief systems, reframe what's in your brain to bring about a different and new reality. All right. Now, oh man, I love this. I love my next slide. I can't wait to bring it up. Your brain does 3 things, and I love the Hindu concept here. I am, while I'm agnostic, I'm also kind of universalist. So I believe all religions lead back to the same God. I believe they're all right and all wrong, and there's more than that as well. There's just so much more that we'll never know in this limited lifetime with this limited brain, etc., etc. But here we go. The brain is like the Hindu gods, right? Brahma, the creator, Vishnu, the preserver, and Shiva, the destroyer. And ladies and gents, just look around you right now. Aren't we in a time of Shiva when a whole bunch of stuff's been destroyed? All right. But at the same time, at the very same time, new stuff is being created. You know, I always smile. I smile a little bit sagely, hopefully, you know, at the Australians and the world when they have the Australian fires. Because if you've read Bryce Courtney's book, Four Fires, you'll know the fire comes to destroy, and it bursts the husks of the new seeds to be planted. And you know, there's life and death. You can't get away from that. So some things die and other things are brought back to life. And right now, let us give praise to the benefits that come out of the virus and the benefits that come out of lockdown. You know, if you think that some of your rights have been eroded, what other rights have you gained? You know, if you think that you stuck at home, what other areas in your life have been enhanced because of it? Listen, in South Africa, I feel safer. My wife and I have been together for 8 weeks now, still together. Great news, all right? And we've bonded, we're closer. We've watched about 200 hours, it feels like, of Grey's Anatomy. We watch about 4 or 5 hours a night, just loving it. And every time, look, we've been together 27 years, 32 together, married 27. Every time someone kisses on Grey's Anatomy, and there's a lot of that, we have a little kiss as well. Beautiful, beautiful. So there are lots of things to be grateful for during this very, very strange time. But the question is, you know, what do you need to create? What do you need to preserve? What do you need to destroy in your own life? Today's news, we all know that you are what you eat. So some of us are becoming hamburgers and sodas, etc., etc. But more importantly, that was meant to be funny. More importantly, here we go. You're the average of the 10 people you spend the most time with. Isn't that scary? You know, some of us need to find new friends. And I'm a little bit psychic, and I looked into the Akashic records and I tuned into all of the people that would be on the score. And I looked at some of your friends, okay? And some of you, because of your friends, this is what you're destined to turn into. All right. And normally at this point, I'd go, give us a 9 in the chat box if you thought that was funny. But more seriously, the books you read, you know, the series you binge watch. So right now I'm becoming a surgeon, watching all of that Grey's Anatomy. But you know, maybe this is why, you know, we becoming shameless, and we becoming Dexter-like, and we get into all of these strange things. You know, I'm going to ask you, what are you watching? What are you seeding? What are you planting? Because everything that goes into that beautiful computer of yours creates a vibration. Okay, how is this? This is how your soul reacts to some of the stuff you're watching, man. It's just going, what? It's not the little bug on the shoulder. It's that okay. They're going, what? Right. So listen, if we put you into hypnosis, We would be able to get you to sing every single song you've ever heard. It's in, and some of those rap songs are hectic, man. What music do you listen to? And yes, just a little bit of fun. You know that we now know that rock music can kill plants. We have some empirical evidence now that rock music kills plants. Wow, man, do you know how much marijuana has been smoked in the name of rock and roll, killing all of those herbs there by smoking them. All right, so here we go. Your brain is a giant computer and you can reprogram it. This is the message today. My message to you today actually is, firstly, what's possible. Secondly, you can have anything you want. You can have anything you want, but there are some conditions. You know, Vanesh and I have created uh, a, um, a business. We're sales trainers, but I work the inner game. He works the outer game. He wrote a beautiful book, Kick Average in the Teeth. And we just make an amazing team. And that's what we're up to. The truth here is that you can reprogram your brain. All right, here we go. So here's the next moment, control. This is the second most important meme of memes. Okay, where are you on this sliding scale here? So when I was born into a well-meaning, very Christian, very Catholic family. You know, I was taught you give your life to Jesus, and whatever happens is His will. Whatever happens is God will. It's all 100% destiny. And it took me a long time to break out of that, because I don't believe that's true. I think that all of the great people, including Jesus, were on the left-hand side here. All of the masters, Buddha, Gandhi, all of the greats, um, our beautiful Madiba, they took control of their lives. And even some of the stranger guys that we may not all like, Donald Trump, you know, he's fully on the left here. Robin Banks, all of these guys, the people that we, Soros, all of the people that we look up to as having made successes of their lives. I promise you, if you look at the people that you revere, that you look up to, your role models, they've taken more control of their lives. As opposed to just going, oh, well, I'm just leaving it, everything's destiny. So very good. So where are you on this screen? Where are you on the scale? And could you take, if you're over here, could you take one step to the left? Just mentally go, I need to take more control of my life. I can take more control of the things that happen to me. Now, listen, I know there are things you cannot change. But at the same time, I know without a shadow of a doubt, there are things that you can change, you can manifest. And, you know, I'm going back to this concept of that I started here, that you can have anything you want, right? And Vanessa and I have this 9-step to manifestation that we put together. Firstly, yeah, I'll give you a couple of them. Number one, where are you? Where are you right now? Number two, where do you want to be? Number three, this is one of the most important. Is it important enough for me to get there? And will I do whatever it takes? Okay. Number four, what are the things you need to do to get there? Write down the action steps you need to do to go from A to B. Then what you want to do is get that big goal, all right? Get a picture of it, photograph of it, or go onto Google Images and download a picture, get an affirmation. I'm so happy that I'm living in my dream home, or I'm so happy I have this beautiful family, and there's a picture of a beautiful family. Whatever that is for you, get the picture and the affirmation. And then you need to tell some people about it. Tell 10 people about this goal and ask them to keep you accountable. And then, ladies and gents, what you want to do is take the action steps necessary, because you know there's this balance, there's this yin yang. You can see in the bottom, we actually call ourselves the yin yang of sales. There's this yin yang going on, and that's because there's an inner game and an outer game. And what we're doing, there's a spiritual and there's a physical. So I believe in the secret, but it's and the law of attraction, but it's only half the truth. You know, you can sit for as long as you like, meditating on a red Ferrari and affirming it and setting your intention, and then you run to the garage and it's not there, right? You need to do all of the spiritual stuff. You need to do all of the visualization. You need to do all of the inner game stuff, but you have to back it up with real action in the real world. We believe in the law of sow and reap, because we know that when you take action, the universe changes. So it's partially, you can take Newton's law: for every action there's an opposite and equal reaction. That just proves that every time you do it, make an action, there is something happening. There's a reaction. Then you take the ripple effect. You know, the people say that if you sneeze over here, it has an effect on the people on the other side of the planet. China would be that for us, and that is that every thought you have goes out into the universe, and we are creating So I don't know how many of you have ever done this or experienced this. A jar of 3 jars, cup of water, cup of rice. Okay, the one you say, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. The other one is the control one. This one, I hate you, I hate you, I hate you. Look here, thank you, I love you, I hate you, you are stupid. That is just the power of words. Okay, who of you believe in prayer? Look at this, a water molecule before prayer and a water molecule after prayer. This is Dr. Emoto. This is scientifically proven, ladies and gents. The jar one, you can do at home and prove it. This is a scientific evidence. Look here, I hate you and I love you on water. Now you know what's amazing about this and scary about these slides? The human body is 70% water. What are the words you use? What effect are the words you use having on you and the people around you? Okay, maybe we are creating the cancers in our spouses by our nagging and our fighting and our being horrible and nasty, because every single word you have is a vibration, and that vibration is creating. So I believe in prayer, but I don't necessarily believe there's a God up there going, all right, if enough people pray for Mary, her cancer will be healed. I think that when we pray, it's the vibration of the prayer. Have you noticed when you pray, you're humble, and the words that are coming out of your mouth have a certain vibration, one of the highest vibrations. I am God love. I am God love. I am God love. Man, when you say that over and over again, the vibration of that is healing. I don't necessarily think there's a God out there who's counting the times you said, and at a certain time sends out the healing to you. It's the vibration, the beauty, the frequency of the words when you pray that make the difference. So listen, how not to change the future. I believe it was Einstein who said, that if you continue to do the same things in the same old way and expect a different outcome, that is the definition of stupidity. Okay, so here we go. The best way to predict the future is actually to create it. It's powerful. John DeMartini has the prophecy experience, right? And it's 7 days, and in those 7 days you work with one area of life in each of the seven areas. And the reason he calls it prophecy is because you can prophesy your future by taking control of it today. You can have anything you want, ladies and gents, but is it important enough? Will you put in the time and the energy and the effort required? The funny element to this is time. We live in a world where we want instant gratification, where we give up too quickly. These days, your clutch goes, they don't fix your clutch anymore. They pull it out and put a new one in. If you're unhappy with your wife or your husband, you get rid of him or her and you just pop another one in, a modular. It's just like, put that one there. We don't fight anymore, man. We're giving too easily. We want instant gratification. We want ecstasy in our marriages for 32 years, but we're not willing to take the bad. Do you know that when you said your vows, you went for better or worse? In good times and in bad, in sickness and in health. But you know what we were saying is, I prefer the health, I prefer the happy, I prefer the wealth. I don't want all of those. I'm vowing it, but please God, in my marriage, I don't think that's going to happen. And then you get clapped with reality and you divorce the oak, instead of going, man, I promised to stay with you for ages. Just one moment, if you don't mind. I don't think anyone should stay with anyone who's abusive. I don't think you should stay in an unhappy marriage. I just think we should fight a little bit harder. So please don't misquote me here. Don't misunderstand me here. Marriage is a beautiful institution. I've been happily married for a long time, but it has come with some major challenges. Right, here we go. So the key to kickstarting your life is, looking at those 7 areas. What do you need to do physically, spiritually, in vocation, building wealth, societal, family, mental, and so how clear are you on your vision and your mission? And this is a beautiful moment here. What do you need to destroy physically? What do you need to destroy spiritually, or in your vocation, in your health, in your society? What do you need to preserve, and what do you need to create? What do you need to create physically? What do you need to create spiritually? What do you need to create? What do you need to keep on, continue with? And what is, we were born into a family. That family programmed us. My NLP coach is taking me back all the time and going, well, Stephen, that reaction served you as a 7-year-old, but you're almost 57. Do you still need that? No. Right, let's reframe it. What do you need to reframe? What do you need to create? What do you need to destroy in your own life? So physically, mentally, spiritually, in your business, in wealth creation. How many of you, so let's talk about wealth, let's talk about money. How many of you, like me, were born into a religion and a family that said it's easier for a camel to go through an eye of a needle than a rich man to go to heaven? You were programmed to be poor. I don't believe that. I don't believe that I don't believe Jesus said that. I don't believe that's true. I believe that my God, who I can't define, wants me to be healthy and wealthy and wise and fulfilled. And that's what I'm aiming for. And I've had to shave off a lot of the teachings from well meaning parents, well meaning religions, well meaning governments, well meaning medical companies. Right, here we go. So, what's your big, hairy, audacious goal? You know, my biggest one, interestingly enough, is around money. uh, and what's your big, hairy, audacious affirmation? So, you know, I have I was born poor and it sucked. I don't like it. And I promised that my daughter would never go through that stuff. And she hasn't, she didn't. But, you know, I have goals in all 7 areas of life. Okay, but one of them, my big, hairy, audacious affirmation is I'm so happy that between Jackie and I, we generate 250,000 Rand a month, both doing what we love. I've been saying that affirmation for about 5 years. In the last year, we achieved it 2 or 3 times. All right. Born poor. It's a lot. So don't, if you're in America, please don't convert that into dollars. Just go $250,000. Okay. If you're in England, same thing with pounds. Don't convert it. It's a lot of money. All right. But the thing is, it's manifesting. And the reason is I've kept on and on and on. I haven't changed it. Kept going. So how do we change the future? You need to reprogram the brain. You know, you need some goals. You need a vision. You need a mission. You need to take action. You need to start eating better. You know, if you are what you eat, okay, you may be turning into a pizza or a hamburger or a hot dog. All right. And, you know, get a little bit spiritual. And whatever that means to you. For some, it might be praying. For some, it may be Tai Chi. For some of you, it may be meditation or hugging a tree. Whatever it is, get spiritual. Sit and light incense and chant the Om. That's fine. For others, it's going out and painting orphanage walls, or helping the poor, or going into areas and planting vegetables so that they can eat. Whatever it is, get a little bit more spiritual. Take some time and connect to your God. Hey man, if we were all in the room today, I'd make everyone get up and hug. Okay, hug a lot. I know we're in a strange time. You know, whoever you lock down with, going to ask you after today, just go and give them a hug. And if you don't relate to people, go and hug your dog, man. Oh, isn't that cute? I know that that'll just warm the hearts of so many people. So just get hugging, take action, get a mentor, make good choices, start reading, you know, and just take control of what it is that is important to you. Ladies and gents, thank you very much. I'm going to stop sharing there. I am going to just come back and wrap up. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your energy. I hope that 90% of you stayed until the end. The essence of my message today really is, what are you planting? What are you seeding? What are you creating? What are you manifesting? What's important enough to you? What do you spend your time on, your energy on, your money on? And what do you ask about? And what is it that you would love to create in the next 10 years? Because even in the most dastardly of times, you can sit down in meditation, contemplation, and visualize a better future. I'm going to ask you today, as a parting thought, what are you visualizing? What are you creating? What are you manifesting? Please, will you take control of your lives and make it real? Woohoo! So thank you, Vinesh, over to you. Any thoughts your side before we close off? Your mic's on. Your mic's muted. There we
My
go.
apologies.
Yeah.
Congratulations, folks, for staying through the speed, for enjoying the content presented by Stephen here today. The inner game is everything. Without this inner game, there cannot be no outer game. Without the thoughts, the beliefs, the visualizations, the feeling, the affirmation, it's so hard to create and manifest. So take to heed these thoughts and ideas that have served us at the yin yang of cells, and hundreds, if not thousands, of the people we touch every month. So In parting, I'd like to encourage you, connect with Stephen. You can go to his website, stephenvanbasten.co.za. You can also check out the yin-yang-of-sales.com. And lastly, yin-yang-events.net.
Agreed.
Thank you very much. Be great. And Stephen, any parting shots before we wrap it up?
No, thank you for hosting that. Thank you for the intro. Thank you for the outro. And I look forward to helping you with yours, Vinesh. Keep well, stay safe, wash your hands for 20 seconds, and wear your mask when you go out.